One of the toughest and most confusing time in our walk with God is the period between when God gives us a word and when the word actually comes to pass. The period between when a prophecy is spoken over you and when you actually see the prophecy come to pass. The period between when God shows you a future, shows you a picture of what He wants your life to be, something He wants you to, where He's taking you to. From that point to actually seeing that thing manifest, that period a lot of times can be confusing. Sometimes when God gives us word like that, when those pictures are shown to us, when we get those visions, when we have those dreams, sometimes we are not given the exact direction on what to do between the time of the word that the word was given and the time that the word is manifested. So sometimes it can be confusing. It can throw us in a state of dilemma. So you don't know what to do, and sometimes we get to do things that can jeopardize the actual manifestation of the word that was given. So if you have received a word from God, if there's a prophecy that has been spoken over you, if there is a picture of your future that you are standing on, but then you don't know what to do between where you are now and the manifestation of that word, then take this walk with me. Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3. Bible says the vision is yet for an appointed time, and at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, for it shall surely come, it shall not tarry. So if you look at that scripture carefully, you will see that there is a vision and there is an appointed time. There is a time the word was given, there's a time the picture was cast, and the time that it actually came to pass. And in between that, the point 1 and point 2, there is something that we see in that scripture in between. It says, though it tarry, wait for it. A lot of times we get impatient when the word does not come the first year, it doesn't come the second year, it doesn't come the third year. We can get impatient and then we lose hope and faith in the word that was given. Bible says that, do not be weary in well-doing, for in due course you will reap if you faint not. So the first thing is that you do not faint. Don't give up on it. Hold on to that word. If God has spoken that word, it will come to pass. The Bible says heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. Not a jot of His word will fall to the ground without accomplishing the purpose for which it was sent. So if God has spoken a word to you, wait for it. So the challenge is that sometimes in the waiting, we don't know what to do. We think that waiting is just a time of idleness, a time to fold your hands and just look up and wait on God to do what He said He would do. It's a time to just carry our calendar and start counting down until when the word manifests. That is not what waiting is. Waiting is not a time of idleness. Waiting is not a time to just sit down and watch. Waiting is a time of preparation. It's a time of preparation. We can take an example in the Bible. The example is David. David was anointed king of Israel when he was between 12 and 15 years old. He was anointed king, but he actually became king at the age of 30. So between the time he was anointed till the time he actually became king, what was he doing? First year, second year, third year, 13 years, 14 years, 15 years, might even have been 18 years before that word came to pass. What was he doing? So if you look at the life of David, you realize that the person that was anointed king in the bush is not the same person that became king. The person that was anointed was a shepherd boy. But the person that became king was a full-grown man, a technocrat. He was not just a boy, he had become a full-grown man, a man of valor. He had applied himself. So while you are waiting, it is time to apply yourself. It is time to grow. It's time to develop yourself. It is time to start learning the ropes of the future that you want to feature in. So if God has shown you something about your career, God has shown you that you are supposed to take a particular sphere in your career, It is time between now and then. It's time for you to start developing yourself. Start studying. Start reading. Start getting into going for trainings, going under mentorship. Learn. Bible says, and the child grew and waxed strong and was in the wilderness until the day of his showing forth. So that child has to grow before he can be shown forth. Galatians chapter 4, Bible says, an heir, as long as he's a child, differeth not from a servant, but he's kept under tutorship until such a time set by the father. So you see that sometimes what delays the time between the word and the manifestation is your preparation, your readiness. How ready are you? Don't just sit down and wait for the word and keep asking God to make it come, to make it happen, make it happen. God has already spoken the word. That word is as potent as it can be. You have to get ready for it. You have to apply yourself. You have to start working. So one of the ways to apply yourself is there are some things around you that you can be doing to develop capacity in order to be able to do what God has spoken over you, what the picture that God has shown you. So there are little things. If it's a ministry, for instance, in your local church, there are little assignments that you can pick up and be doing and build capacity, build muscle. As you keep building muscle, you are getting closer to your manifestation. As you keep developing yourself, you are getting closer to your manifestation. God will not allow you to enter into that place when you are not ready, because if He allows you to jump into it, you come down. Because if you jump, you will fall. But if you grow, you will stay. No matter how high a person jumps. Have you ever seen somebody that jumped, no matter how high the person jumped, and did not come down? You will come back. There is a principle that will make sure that you come back. You come down. It's gravity. But when you grow, if you develop yourself and grow steadily, you will stay. So while you are waiting, start applying yourself. Start praying about that thing. Start growing in the word. Start studying about those careers that you want to do, that you want to feature in. Go under tutorship. Go under mentorship. Look for people that are doing what you are supposed to do and start working with them. Start listening to them. Start learning. Even Jesus, Bible says that when he was 12, he went to the synagogue and he sat down with professors of the law, with professors in the synagogue, and he learned at their feet. He asked them questions because he was developing himself to be able to manifest what he was called to manifest. So how ready are you to live in the future that God has shown you? How ready are you to manifest that thing that God has spoken over you? So you see, it is not God that is delaying it. It is your preparedness. It's your readiness that is delaying it. So start working on it. Start growing, start building, develop all the muscles, and you see that word come to pass in no time. God bless you. See you next time.